Yeah, good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar with me, Jamie Hart and Jason Cundy. Still to come, we're going to be joined by transfer guru Ben Jacobs to get the latest on all the dealings that are happening. We have a midnight train tonight. No sport, no religion, no politics, nothing too serious. Get your calls in for that later on in the show. But first, it's time for this.
It's absolutely disgusting. I've had enough, mate. It's just ridiculous. They really are miles behind everyone else.
I think we're going to win it this season.
It's not good enough.
Happy Deer's top of the league, eh?
What a player he is. Honestly,
they haven't got a chance.
Come on.
I'm not going to be nice. I want to rub it in.
The scarves are off.
Yeah, it's Sports Bar's brand new feature. The scarves are off. Every Thursday, we choose one of the big weekend fixtures and put a fan from each side head to head of the game. Here we go. Introducing the home corner tonight, live from the northeast, is Newcastle fan Jonny Greenwood.
Johnny.
All right, Johnny.
Good evening, gents. How are you?
Evening,
All right,
Johnny boy.
mate. Time to introduce our next contestant.
What's going on in
What's
there?
going on here?
They have no idea what my name is or where I'm from, but I'm in the other corner. How are we,
Mikey.
boys?
Yeah, it's Liverpool fan Mike Quill. Right, Mikey?
Mike, good evening, welcome.
All right, boys. How are we? We
Yeah,
good?
Good, mate.
Good,
Look,
mate.
this game, obviously a massive one because of Alexander Isak. It's live and exclusive on talkSPORT this Monday from 8 p.m. Me and Cundy will be taking calls straight after it. But, boys, what's going on? Because yous lot have been going at it. You're not even rivals, but it feels like a rivalry is made because of your football clubs going for Alexander Isak. And, look, I'll come to you first, Mike. Do you think you're going to get Isak?
Yeah, listen, I do. I think, you look at any saga in the past, I think whether it's you think of Van Dijk, you think of Torres when he left Liverpool, you shake your head all you want, mate, but he's not going to train. He's refusing to even represent the club on an international tour. He's gone to social media. This happens every single time. It's whether it's now, whether it's January, you can think of a million examples of it. There's only two examples where it's not happened, and that was Wayne Rooney at United and Gerrard at Liverpool. When Rooney ended up signing a new contract, Gerrard ended up staying. Those were two very different situations because the clubs at the time, with respect, were challenging for titles or challenging for Champions Leagues. Liverpool obviously didn't go on to do that for a couple of years after, but Gerrard was also a local lad. So
Johnny,
I don't really see it.
Johnny, I have to say, there does feel this is a bit of needle here, big needle, and this wasn't anticipated, right? Because Newcastle, Liverpool...
Johnny, they're mugging you off, mate. Liverpool have mugged you lot off this summer. They have.
Well, they haven't got Isak, have they? So they haven't.
No, but they disrupted him, haven't they?
Yeah, they might have disrupted him, but they haven't got him though, and they can't put the money where their mouth is. They've only put 110 million on the table. Is that for what? His right foot? Or...
Only 110 million. Why would we say only?
How much is he
Can
worth?
I ask?
How much is he worth?
But you tell me. You pay him 160 grand a week. So how much is
120, I
grand
think.
a week a player worth?
No,
Oh, 120. Yeah. Apologies.
He's worth at least 150 million pounds. If we're talking about the
But
best
at
of the
least
best
150
strikers,
mil.
well, put
Right.
the money. I'll put the money.
then
On,
you
put
pay-
the money on the table.
Then I agree. If you want to put the money on the table, do the same with the contract, which you don't seem willing to do as a club.
He's got 3 years left on the contract. He's got 3 years. We're in a strong position. 3 years left on the contract.
I agree. You're in a strong
The
position.
player hasn't got any power. The club has got the power. If
Well, he
it's
has
2
got
years
power
left on
because
the
he's refusing to play.
Yeah, but he's not going to. If let's just say if he gets to September the 2nd and he's still a Newcastle player, he's going to have no choice but to play. He's just going to have to just forget about it because he's not going to not play football for a whole season, is he?
John,
So-
let me come to
so
you,
do you
right?
thi-
Let me
Yeah,
sorry.
go
Let me
on.
come. So this game, right? The atmosphere. It's under the lights. There's some real hatred between these two sets of supporters right now. What is the atmosphere going to be like?
It's going to be toxic, but it's just going to be what Newcastle United want. Liverpool do not want to come to St James's Park on Monday night. Nobody wants to come to St James's Park right now. Anthony Gordon, Dan Burn spoke after the Villa game last week. Everybody's up for it. It'll be hostile. Hostile's being polite. Liverpool will not know what's hit them on Monday night. It'll be that toxic for them because literally it's probably the worst game for them to have. First game at St James's Park. We know that Liverpool are a very, very good team. And look, they've got some fantastic players. I'm not going to beat around the bush. But Newcastle United, St James's Park, they can match anybody in their day. And I actually feel confident going to this game Monday night.
Mikey, Liverpool aren't the sort of football club that we worry. They go to play at the biggest stadiums in the world. I mean, do you think that'll affect the players?
I'll affect the players to what extent, really. I do agree on the idea that St James's Park, away is one of the toughest games you're going to play all season. Same with, you talk about Liverpool at Anfield. the away game of Newcastle is one that you look at on the list and you go, it's not going to be an easy game. I mean, you can only look at Liverpool-Newcastle's history. Whenever they played at Anfield or St James's Park, they've been phenomenal games, and the atmosphere 9 times out of 10 is top-notch. Yet the Isak spice has certainly made it a bit more toxic for both Liverpool fans and players there. Hopefully the fans will be fine with each other, on a certain level, and it just sticks to football. That's obviously an important thing. But I don't know, like you say, Liverpool have played at the very highest level for a very long time, at the toughest stadiums, and they've managed it well.
Mikey,
I do think the first 15, 20 minutes will be difficult, but it is just a football stadium.
Mike, are you a bit annoyed at Newcastle? Like little old Newcastle, just not letting them, just like, and big old Liverpool. Are you not annoyed at that?
Listen, I think there's a few things I'm annoyed with. I think there is like this forcing of a rivalry at the moment, which I don't necessarily agree with. I respect Newcastle as a club, and I respect what they're doing and where they're going. And I do think in the next couple of years, they will get to that point of consistently challenging for trophies. But, all right, bang. All right, Cundy, Jesus. All right, I've heard some of these shows, man. Come on now. Hey. I've seen your hands go behind the desk, brother. I thought that was you. I'll tell you this, though. At the moment, Newcastle are in a position where they're challenging for Europa League, maybe Champions League. They haven't recruited well all summer. And I don't think you can say a club that has won one trophy in the last 50 years, hasn't won a league title since 1920, is a direct rival of Liverpool. I think that's quite insulting to Liverpool as a football club.
Is there a chance, or this is to both of you, that the game on the pitch could get out of hand? Because the players will feel it. They'll want to fight for the badge. I just wonder whether you feel that this couple of yellow cards could lead to a red.
No, I don't think so. I think Newcastle midfielders in particular, you look at the midfield that we've got, I think they'll be a bit feisty, but I think they know the line. And they've played in big games before. I know that Liverpool fan was talking about, a rivalry as such, but in a very big game, we won that very big game. That cup final at Wembley. Yes, Alexander Isak, the man that's making all the noise, but he scored. And Newcastle United can cope with a big occasion. We're not what we used to be anymore. This is a Champions League team. It's not a team fighting for the Europa League, as you was trying to mention before. This is a team that have been in Champions League twice in the last 3 seasons. We put Liverpool to the Champions League 2 years ago. So we've got everything going for us as well. It's at St James's. We've got home advantage. It is going to be a fantastic game. It is the game of the weekend, or the game of Monday night, if you like. It's going to be absolutely tremendous, and it's going to be one worth to listen to on talkSPORT.
It's a bit of a David v Goliath, though, isn't it?
In what respect?
Well, Liverpool are a much bigger club, aren't they?
I'm not disputing that, but what I'm saying is that these are two teams that, if you look at the last few games last year, that the game at St James's Park 3-3, it wasn't a David versus Goliath sort of game at all. It's at Wembley. It was Newcastle were by far the better team. It's not
Johnny, just let Isak go, mate.
Listen.
Just let him go, Johnny.
Here's the thing, Johnny. By the way, you can call me Michael, not that Liverpool fan. Don't worry, it's okay. But he didn't like the Europa League comment. He was refusing to name me. But I do agree. At Wembley, I thought you tactically outclassed us. You were brilliant on the day. Absolutely deserved it, and I was actually very happy for you then. Like, Newcastle winning the trophy was a nice thing to see. When I say Europa, the reason I say it is because I think you've recruited poorly in the summer. I don't mean the players necessarily you brought in are bad, but I feel like the areas that you could have attacked, I don't think you've attacked as hard as you need to. Now, you can say that whether that's financial restraint, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it all, but I am surprised at your recruits. That's why I think it's.
No, they couldn't get you, Nick Dekatike, didn't you?
Disagree.
That's what they wanted. You got
Dekatike. I listen. The idea we nicked Dekatike like just on a random Tuesday, we looked at it and went, you know what? No, we're going to go in. It's nonsense. We were after them since January. Yeah, it is another. And I don't also agree with the idea that they go with as well, where it's like, if Liverpool didn't get Dekatike, you could have had Isak. Like, that's not how it works. You can't try and emotionally blackmail when it comes to football clubs. You buy the best when you need to buy the best. Liverpool were in a very difficult situation in the summer as well. That
could be your Achilles heel, though, getting Ekitike in. Because if you let Newcastle get Ekitike, look, I'm not disputing Ekitike. He wanted to go to Liverpool or not. Like he's got, it's a very, very good option. I'm not going to beat around the bush. But if Ekitike goes to Newcastle, Isak probably ends up at Liverpool right now. We're not having this conversation. The biggest issue for right now, I think Jamie was going to mention it before, just letting Isak go at Liverpool. There's two big, massive factors that's not going to happen straight away. The first is the price and the fee. You're nowhere near that. If you put your house up for 150 grand, you're not going to accept 110.
Oh, I don't know. Depends on market. Okay. It's a tough market right now, lads. Tough market.
but the second biggest factor on that is that Newcastle haven't got any replacements right now. At the minute, we've got Anthony Gordon playing as a false nine, and Willis, who's not a striker, in my opinion, is more of a right winger. Newcastle need to bring in two strikers. We haven't got a Callum Wilson replacement at the minute, and we haven't got somebody to take that mantle of Alexander Isak at this moment in time. Newcastle United are the one that's probably at this moment in time probably the right place to be when you look at everything in terms of the big picture right now.
Johnny, I don't know whether you saw Liverpool play the first league game of the season. 2-0 up, they got back to 2-2. I didn't think Konate and Van Dijk cover themselves a huge amount of glory, to be honest with you. Is that an area you can attack, especially with the pace of Gordon?
Yeah, I agree. I thought defensively Liverpool were a bit shaky. I think going forward, of course, they could score goals. And I think Florian Wirtz will have an excellent season for Liverpool, annoyingly. But yeah, they've got goals from wherever, and that's the biggest factor. But you're quite right, Jason, that you look at that defence. Konate was all over the place against Bournemouth. And, Newcastle's forwards, and, it's probably going to be Elanga, Barnes and Gordon on Monday night. They'll be licking their lips at that. You look at Frimpong, Connor Bradley. I don't know if he's going to be available. So it might be somebody that, like a Joe Gomez. I don't know whether he's fit at right back. That's got to be something that we've got to really capitalise on as well. But Kirkes or Robertson at left back. Kirkes I didn't think was brilliant against Bournemouth. And, Robertson's obviously been a fantastic servant. But, you'd like to think Elanga on that right-hand side would really be licking his lips at that. So it'd be really interesting to see how
you can get Van Dijk and Konate?
Konate for sure. Van Dijk, look, we all know how good Van Dijk is. I'm not gonna lie about that. Van Dijk's one of the best Premier League centre halves of all time. Yeah. But he does have his moments. He has been sent off at St James's Park. He has had shaky moments. So who knows? Yeah,
it'd be good if you had a striker to go up against them, wouldn't it?
Oh, what are you trying to say? No. Look, in all seriousness, actually, how good would it have been to see Alexander Isak against Van Dijk and Konate on Monday night? I know that's not going to happen, but it would have been really, really good.
Would have been better to see him play against Dan Burn.
Oh, here we go. No, in all seriousness, if Liverpool acted like they should have acted, they would have had this deal done a long time ago, but they haven't. They've wasted their opportunity. Unless you put the money on the table and Newcastle get their replacements, this deal is not happening. Newcastle at the minute cannot get their replacements.
But then you've just said it there yourself. Like the deal couldn't have happened until Newcastle got their replacements. Liverpool put a bid in. Admittedly, if you want to go 150, let's say that is the fee. Obviously, that's what's been reported now. So we'll say 150. Liverpool went in with 110. You say it's a low ball offer. You did the exact same with Vissa. They said 50. You went in with 25. Or they said 40. You went in with 25. It's part of negotiation. So I'm not going to act like the 110 mil was, the right offer at the time. I never thought it would be accepted, but I did think it was an opening offer. The same way you knew your 25 wouldn't be accepted, but you knew it was an opening offer. You guys said, we are not selling until we sign a replacement. We haven't done anything since as a club that we know of that's been reported. Obviously, it could be behind closed doors. I'm not going to say there isn't. But then Newcastle have had now 5 weeks since Isak said, I would like to explore my options to get in replacement. So you've had ample time. And we can't sit here and pretend you haven't.
Have we not tried with Sesko?
Had enough time.
Have we not tried with Sesko?
I think you tried with Sesko. No, I'm not saying you haven't tried. That's not my point. But you say just if you want him, pay the money. If you wanted Vissa, then pay the money. But you haven't done that. So it's the same situation.
Well, what's Vissa got to do with Liverpool?
Because it's one striker in the door. You need two strikers.
Yeah, but Wissa's not going to Liverpool. Wissa wouldn't be an Isak replacement anyway. Wissa, as I mentioned, Wissa would be.
Well, no, I agree. But like you've said, and like the club have said, a big part of the reason you haven't sold Isak is, like you said, you need to bring two forwards in the door. Vissa is one of two. That is a fact. He is not a replacement. He's a Callum Wilson replacement. You guys let him go on a free. You had supposedly an idea Isak might want to explore his options. You've had the summer to replace. You haven't done it. I'm not saying it's your fault necessarily. The Sesko thing was, I was surprised by that personally. I don't really see the appeal of Manchester United at the moment. I think Newcastle is a better prospect for him. So I'm,
Boy,
yeah,
what do you reckon the scores? What's the scores going to be? What's the score? What are we saying here?
I think Newcastle will get the win. I just think Newcastle will not lose on Monday. I'm going to say
Anthony Gordon hat-trick.
2-1 Newcastle. I think Newcastle win it late on. I'm going to say Elanga to get a goal on his home debut at St James's.
Mikey, come.
I think it's going to be 3-3. I think there's going to be yellow cards everywhere. Joe Linton will somehow avoid a red card. Joe Linton. No, I'd say that. You want to know why? I think it's because Joe Linton's going to walk in there and have a boxing
He's a Premier League champions. He's a Premier League champions, and you can't think you're going to beat Newcastle.
No, I'm a realist. The same way Newcastle thought they could win the Champions League this year. You know what I mean? I'm just a realist.
Who said that?
I seen one tweet. I'm joking. I seen one tweet.
Boys,
there we go.
Boys, well done.
Cheers,
love
boys.
it.
Can't wait for Monday
Thanks
night.
for coming on. It's a massive game. Yeah, it's a huge game. It is on Monday nights, live and exclusive on talkSPORT from 8 p.m. That was our brand new feature. The scarves are off.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.